XVONE, for critical review and reaction, is Jordan Maxwell on Fire in the Minds of Men by James Billington.
Now we need to look at James Billington's book, probably one of the most important books you're ever going to find, and you can still find it today, and you need to get this book and read it. This, I believe, is one of the most important books on this subject you can find anywhere. James Billington's book is called The Fire in the Minds of Men. James Billington is one of the most phenomenally interesting writers you will ever pick up a book. He is fascinating to read, but he has an incredible, impeccable credentials. Today, James Billington is the chief librarian for the Library of Congress. So this man is without a doubt well suited to discuss the story in his book about the communist world movement and how it was financed, who did it, what the symbols meant. This is really an important book, James Billington, and the book is called Fire in the Minds of Men. It's the origins of the revolutionary faith of all the revolutionary movements and secret societies of the world. So get the book. Order it from Amazon, or find it in bookstores. It's a very important book. Now, in the book Fire in the Minds of Men, in the inside cover, it says, the history of modern revolutions is the story of people in the grips of ideas and beliefs. In this masterful work, James Billington, whose icon in the Acts, this was his first book, establishes him both as a formidable scholar and a sparkling storyteller. But in this book, The Fire in the Minds of Men, he traces the course of the revolutionary faith from its earliest origins in occult Freemasonry to the allegedly scientific Marxism of today. Now, in the introduction is a profound paragraph in Fire in the Minds of Men. James Billington says in the introduction, a recurrent mythic model for revolutionaries, early romantics and young Karl Marx, and the Russians of Lenin's time, was Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods for the use of mankind. The Promethean faith of revolutionaries resembles in many respects the general modern belief that science would lead men out of darkness into light. But there was also a more pointed millennial assumption that on the new day that was dawning, the sun would never set. Early during the French Revolution was born something referred to as, quote, the solar myth of the revolution, suggesting that the sun was rising on a new era in which darkness would vanish forever. This image became implanted at a level of consciousness that simultaneously interpreted something real and produced a new reality. The new reality that they, the secret societies, sought was radically secular and stringently simple. The idea was not the balanced complexity of the new American Federation, but the occult simplicity of its great seal, an all-seeing eye atop the pyramid over the words Novus Ordo Seclorum. Very important. This is why in New York City at Rockefeller Plaza you will see Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods to illuminate the minds of our masters on the earth. The godly wisdom was stolen by the god Prometheus and brought to the earth and given to our illuminated minds, or what we call, those who we call Illuminati, to illuminate our masters who control the human race, implying that they have knowledge of the heavens and wisdom of the world that we mortal men do not have. That's why they are the Illuminati, the illuminated ones. So I want to draw your attention to the top part again. It says a recurrent mythic model for revolutionaries, early romantics, young Karl Marx and Russians of Lenin's time was Prometheus. Well, so it is today. Still, young communists and the communist people who finance the Communist Party, the Rockefellers, still have their god Prometheus at Rockefeller Center. And the American people, New Yorkers, every day going by the Rockefeller Center, never realize what that statue actually implies. As Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods in heaven and brought down to the Illuminati intellectual, spiritual enlightenment to rule over and control the world. Prometheus. Then in the back of the book, under the subheadings in the back of the book, talks about the solar revolution, the temple of the sun, talks about the books that were written as far back as 1887, talking about the year 2000 in New York. You know, as far back as the 1880s, there were books being written about looking forward to New York in the year 2000 and what's going to happen with mankind in the year 2000 in New York. Well, a year later, we have the 9/11 stuff. Even speculation about the year 2000 began not with the futurology of the 1960s, but the year 2000 was important in a dynamic work written as far back as 1780 by the same figures who invented the word communist. So the very secret societies out of New York and Europe who were developing what we call communism as far back as 1780s, George Washington knew about them, called the League of Just Men. And they were writing about what was going to be happening in America in the year 2000 in New York.